My name is Dale Wilhite. I live at the France Climber in Mountain Village, Colorado. If you want to find out anything about me, you can go to MySpace where I have a page there. This here is a bit of a radical concept dealing with convicted felons, and it deals with compensating the victims of crime who have been victimized by convicted felons. I one time put a title called the criminal insurance card, which kind of sounds stupid, I guess, but it's basically what this concept deals with is requiring all convicted felons who have been paroled or just out of prison for the duration of their probation and maybe longer to have to carry an insurance policy that in the event they commit another crime, the victim or victims would be compensated financially because of that crime. Let me give you an example. A convicted felon goes to prison for burglary. It's a felony. Gets a year in prison. Gets out. 5 years probation. Okay. By law, he has to be or she has to be employed. That means the state will have to get this person employed. This person's to get out. This person's going to have to work, whether they want to or not. Hopefully, it'll be about 50 hours a week. If you keep some of these felons who have been released from prison busy, they might have less time to commit crimes. But the 50 hours instead of 40 is for the reason that this felon is going to have to spend about 10 hours of whatever he makes to put into an insurance pool. This insurance pool would be run by the state, not by the federal government. Let me repeat that. It's going to be run by the state, not the federal government. Hopefully it'll be run by the county or the city rather than by the state. I don't want anything federal here. We don't need to give the federal government any more power, especially give them any more money for any reason. They'll steal that and spend it on pork barrel spending or spend it on nothing but garbage. Anyway, a convicted felon gets out of prison for burglary. He or she commits that crime again, and let's say he or she breaks into a home, steals $5,000 worth of property. Well, if that felon is found, arrested, convicted again, and not all the property is recovered, well then the victim or victims of that burglary can file for some compensation, and they can get back some money at least of what they've lost. Now it's not as easy as it sounds because again they can make up stuff. And that's where it comes into hand. So it may not be the best example, but here is what this insurance policy would do for these convicted felons. If they injure you, let's say you are a victim of an attack, an assault, and you have a hospital bill, and let's say whether you have insurance or not, let's say it cost you $10,000 because of it. Maybe you lost $5,000 in income because of from work. Well, you will be able, by law, you would be able to file to retrieve or to be compensated for your loss. You may not get everything back, but you're going to get something back, and I don't mean $5. You should get back at least half of what you've lost. It's better than nothing. It's more than you're going to get now. That's what I'm trying to say here. And this is one way we can really make the criminals pay. It's just a simple idea of mine. I'm just providing the foundation for it that will compensate victims of crime. That's all I'm trying to say here. And the states, the counties and cities could set up a insurance fund in which these convicted felons will pay into. And if they have to wash dishes to pay for it, they'll wash dishes to pay for it. Doesn't make any difference. They're gonna pay for it. And they'll go into a pool, and there will be a cap on it. I wish it could be done by a private insurance company, but that's probably not going to happen. I just don't want something like this falling into the hands of the federal government, and I really don't like it falling into the hands of the state government. I still think this is better handled more on a local level. Like Los Angeles County can run their own insurance pool, and all of their convicted felons will get jobs if they, one way or another, they're going to work. and they're going to put money into that pool. And that way, if they commit another crime, the victims of these crimes can get some kind of compensation from it. Again, it's not as easy as it sounds, but it's something. It's better than nothing. That's how I look at it. And it especially will come in handy if a person is sent to the hospital, or if a person loses a lot of time at work and can't pay their bills. So you see, this is a humanitarian concept. The ACLU and all these other phony left-wing human rights organizations won't like this idea. But if you're the victim of a convicted felon, you'd like it very much to get compensated for something that wasn't your fault in the first place. Why should you suffer financial loss because of some convicted felon, or anybody really, but some convicted felon? Why should you suffer that loss? Why do you have to pay for everything? It's time to make them pay for it. And this is one way you can do that. Thank you for your time.